Hey, Danny, just got off the phone with you. How you doing? Stern firm, don't sell. We were just talking about it, right? Hey, Sonye, how you doing? Sonye, how do you pronounce that? All right, come on, everybody, come into the room. Like the video as you come in. Let's have a conversation. Please hit the like button on the way in. Let's defeat the algorithm. Let's get the algorithm working for us rather than working against us. So, like the video as you come in. I'm just going to be here for about half an hour, hopefully, or a little bit more. When Lambo Johnny Mata, I'm glad you're here. Did you see the notification? Please, everyone, turn your notifications on. Maybe turn it off and on. Maybe that would help. Turn it on and off or something. That probably will help. Lambo soon. Lambo soon. Johnny Matter, where's Chris? Come on, everybody, come right in. Come right in. No, yes, I do teach liquidity, but I don't do I don't trade. I do, but you would have to, to access everything is $97 a month, but there's a $6 whatever that you read all the articles, but the videos where I train, yeah, I'm just beginning to put more videos on there. For example, there's a video on how you can earn more DAG by staking DAG. That was the first one I did. I did a video on Metal X lending, how you can use your Metal, like I can even show you something on Metal X right now, and it's so easy to use, but you have to set it up. I can do it on here, yeah. So DeFi is what I do. Somebody was asking, yes, Wendy Pooh, I'm on here. Where's Tommy? Like it's been the algorithm seemed to have been working against me. Just 76 new subscribers in the last 2 months. That's not good enough, but I'm thankful. All right, we have to be thankful in every situation. So cities restored. Go join my Patreon, and it's a new Patreon, so there's not a lot of stuff on there. But ask me any questions. Ask me what you would like to learn. I don't do leverage trading, so that's out of it. But I can help you get into DeFi quickly. So if you're interested in that, let's talk. All right. So liquidity pools and yeah, all of that. So where's Tommy? Tommy owes a lot of late fees. Tommy's working, man. He's working. You can't blame him. Yes. All right. Who else is coming in? Everybody, as you come in, please go back and like the video. I appeal to you. Go and like the video. If you are new to crypto, go into the description and buy my book titled Crypto Made Easy. It's the easiest way for you to get into crypto. The Lord put it on my heart to write that book, to put it together. And it's not just a book, it has an activity that you have to do at the end, which is starting your own crypto journey by opening an account on either Coinbase or Kraken or anything. It shows you exactly what to do, so that is it. Yes. All right. All right. So I wanted to talk about today. In fact, we're thinking of ZKP. We're thinking of we're working on something to create. I can't say all of that here because I'm very careful now with YouTube. It'll be nice. I just want you to know that. Do you know that you can cities restored? Do you know you can create your own cryptocurrency that you and your family would use, and still connect it by means of an API into in a DeFi setting? At least now you can do that. And you just operate. You could on PancakeSwap or whatever, and you can move in and out. But the most important thing is that you want to be able to also investigate Monero. You want to investigate Zcash, all of that stuff. But I'd rather not talk about a lot of that on here. I'd do it on Patreon. In the new year, I'm going to be talking about those types of things because we have to be prepared for what is coming. Many people are going to be blindsided because people have been trading and not paying taxes. Those who are not holding money, holding for long term, will find themselves, because they have AI now that will scour your entire blockchain activity, and the KYC. That's how they get you. So, and again, we have to do KYC. Otherwise, in the future you won't be able to do things, right? So Tommy in debt. Somebody go ask Tommy to come buy all the donuts that he's missed, right? Lambo soon. The bank charter happened way faster than I thought. All right. So your zero knowledge protocols is a reality, but I don't think that that's something we should be talking about on YouTube. We got to be very careful. There are well-funded snipers who are going to take channels down because they don't want people to know these things. You see what I'm saying? So, but I'm doing more. What I'm doing right now is getting into more of the DeFi platforms. I'm in favor of DeFi platforms where you earn the actual native token. For example, I like DAG because you earn DAG. I like DAG because you earn DAG, and I'm earning like 13% and 10% back on my DAG on the DAG on the what's it called, Constellation network. Okay, so the other thing is there are also those where, for example, if you go on Solflare, you earn Solana. So I like that, but what I don't like is the limitation of a protocol like Constellation and Solana on Solflare is you can't borrow and then put it back in. And that's what I've been saying about what I really like about the MetalX lending is the power it gives you to do that. Let me show you something quickly. Let's look at this very quickly. Look at this is MetalX, for example. Can you see this? Let me know if you can see that. Okay, so let me just confirm that you guys can see what I'm showing you. So if you look here, you will see that this is just an example. This is just to teach, okay? You can see that here is Solana, and you are earning 9.57 APY on Solana. So yesterday I borrowed and I won Solana, okay? And I added to another one Solana, so I had 2 Solana, and my borrowing rate is now 2.52. As of yesterday, it was on 1.92. Now, as the volatility occurs to Solana, you might find that what you're paying back is a little bit more. However, up here, I have a loan health of 196.03, which is a very, very low, good loan health. You have to have loan health above 100%, which means you are collateralized 100% above your borrowing. So I'm almost at 200%, and this is just for an example, because there's no way I'm going to show you, way more than this. Okay, but anyway, let's keep going. And then you get to see with the XMD, which is the metal dollar, you can earn as much as 8.67%, but your borrowing is 7.22%. Now, remember, you are going to be borrowing up to 50% LTV, loan to value. So what I did was I borrowed and I put it back into the pool. What I borrowed is paying me this, but I'm paying this out for what I borrowed, 2.53. And I'm allowed to borrow up to 50. So in some cases, 80% loan to value, but you have to be careful because the higher you go, in the event that the market turns, you would be in trouble, right? So you want to be careful how you do that. Look at USD coin, you're getting 10.43, but the borrowing here, look at what it is. So you got to be careful with those. They want you to keep this on here. They don't want you borrowing, but you can borrow up to 40% of what, if I would do 30 to 40%. If I put 10 grand here, I'll take about 30 to 40% because I'll be paying 12 while I'm earning 10 on way more. You see what I'm saying? All right. Then with Tether, as of yesterday morning, I was in my office at about 9 a.m. Tether was paying 93% on this platform per annum. But as soon as the deposits continue to increase, what they did was to drop. Now they are down to 28%. If you had seen this, let's say in an environment where you had a little bit of money, you could have put it there for 48 hours and you could have made some good money just by doing that, right? So anyway, that's that. But I just wanted to show you that. And here are rewards. These rewards accumulate every day. And the rewards on this platform are with the loan protocol. The beauty of this is loan protocol is very likely to increase in value in the next little while. So that's the other thing. You don't get XPR on here. You don't get Solana back. You get loan protocol. So yeah, you just have to look at what really works in the different platforms, and then you decide what you want to do. All right. So, hey, Wande D is in the house. Somebody welcome Wande D. Yes, the spread is not bad. A bank will give you less than 3%. What are you talking about? Where do you even get 3%? You got to be in hedge funds you know, because it's a cumulative, right? It's an aggregation of all of the different opportunities where in the economy that they have invested in. But like most, TD would give you 0.10% on a deposit of maybe 10,000 to say 300,000 or something like that. I don't even know. But I've shown you guys here before what it is with some of these banks, you know, so it's really amazing. But look at the borrowing. Look at you borrow. Like I'm going to do this again. Give me 1 second here. Let me show you this again. Look at this. Let's look again at Solana. Look at Solana. Look at Solana. So you take, yesterday I borrowed and I was paying 1.97%, but I'm earning 9.57. Now the 9.57 has remained constant. Actually, it was 9.75, now dropped to 9.57 APY. But as of today, I'm paying 2.52%. So let's take a scenario where you have $5,000 worth of Solana, right? And you're earning 9.57 APY. You now borrow 5,000 out of that Solana, you'll be paying 2.52. Tell me that's not something that, you know, and then what you borrowed, you can come back here and you can you can decide to put it into another a different lending pool. So you lend here and you borrow here. It's very easy to do. I'm not going to do all that right here. It's very easy to do. And then you authorize with your WebAuth. That's all you need to know. You authorize with your WebAuth wallet. That's the wallet. Yeah, I'm just doing that to show you guys how easy it is. But what is not easy and what you need to learn. Hey, Ezekiel, my man, how you doing? Thank you for joining. What you need to be quick about is watching. Don't get greedy. See, the thing is, whether you are leverage trading or whether you are in DeFi trying to earn income on your money, you got to be careful with greed or with wanting to do more than, you know. Just go with what's reasonable. You know, if you have 10 grand in it, don't go and try to borrow $7,000 to reinvest. No, be safe between 30% and 45% of your investment, because nobody else will give you that. No, the banks aren't doing that, and this is why they're trying to stop people from earning on their stable coins. Okay, so what am I talking about today? I want to talk about Ripple being a bank. Ripple has become a bank. Now, the what has happened is it's provisional. So on my Patreon, I put up an article. You can go read it. And if you're interested, follow me on Patreon. So the article describes what has happened. Let me just try to bring some stuff off of that. So hopefully you guys are blessed by it. All right. The article is titled Ripple's National Trust Bank Charter. So my articles are very short. Let me take a poll here. Would you guys like me to share the article? It's free, by the way. Do you want me to? So some of these are, hey, Coco Pops, how you doing? Good to see you. It's been a while. So let's, I'll just share it. Come on, you know, so here's the post, okay? Congratulations to Ripple. That's how it opens up. On December 12th, Ripple secured conditional approval from the Office of the Controller of the Currency. As I said here in the second paragraph, with its new OCC bank charter, Ripple gains federal banking supervision for custody and payments. Complementing this, Ripple XRP falls under CFTC oversight as a digital commodity under emerging frameworks, including Project Crypto and Clarity Act. Remember, the Clarity Act, as I said in one of my lives earlier on, is important, is very key, because the three things it does, the third I don't really remember, I have to go back and look at it, but the one that I remember are two things, and that is, number one, to establish, you know, what the Securities and Exchange Commission have oversight, what they have oversight of, and what the CFTC have oversight of. The CFTC is for commodities, and the Securities and Exchange Commission will now, you know, have oversight over contracts. Because remember, a security is a contract. When you buy a share, you are buying after reviewing a prospectus presented to you by a corporation that is listed on the stock exchange, whichever one they may be, and then you decide to sign your hard-earned money by buying their stock with a promise of the payment of dividends at some point. Now, it may not go exactly as they've planned, but at least there is a promise to deliver. Whenever you buy a commodity, it's a different ball game. It depends all on how the market moves. It's like gold, silver, and bronze. These are all commodities. Now, these are digital assets that are commodities. Ripple fought the battle in court, and in July of 2023 was that it was deemed not a security and deemed a commodity. Wow, that was George Analisa Torres. It was great, and people were expecting Ripple to fly to the moon. XRP, I mean, it didn't, right? But now there's the Clarity Act does that. It also provides the necessary guidelines, and then the third thing, it builds on top of the Genius Act, which was passed late last year. So, what are the key implications? Number one, XRP spot trading. This is from my Patreon, A Hate for Truth. So go follow me on Patreon, okay? XRP spot trading, historic CFTC regulated US listing on binomial exchange, December 10, 2025. Do you know what this means? When you see XRP spot trading, don't just gloss over it. I want you to look at the end, because now it enables compliant spot futures and options for institutions. They don't have to buy over the counter anymore. They don't have to be dodgy about anything. They can now, because of binomial exchange, go in there based on it being on the CFTC, spot trade as well. That is institutional gargantuan money coming in. The second thing is the use as a collateral. XRP accepted as margin on CFTC platforms, e.g. binomial, I don't know how you pronounce that, though excluded from initial pilots favoring Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. But it's just all a matter of short time. Adoption surge. This validates XRP's utility for settlements, unlocking institutional flows and RLUSD integration, potentially 5 to 10x liquidity boost. I'm just following the article I put there. I'm trying to encourage you to go and follow me on Patreon. That's all I'm doing here. XRP, because I do write articles. That is why for those of you who are subscribed for free, you will read most of the articles. There are certain ones that will be like anything from $6. If I'm doing a live and I'm teaching something, if you're subscribed, you will see me do it. And for those who have paid, if you are on live, you watch me do it. And then once, maybe 24 hours later, I'll lock it to the paid tier. But just the higher paid tiers, okay? So XRP RLUSD boost, seamless bank integrations for cross-border settlements, slashing costs and unlocking trillions in trap liquidity. Institutional trust attracts banks wary of the banking, fueling adoption amid momentum for the Clarity Act. Market impact signals crypto's mainstream fusion. XRP was up by 8.8%. That's not a lot, but that's right after the news was released, because a lot of these things are already baked in, right? From the time it ran up in December, there was already opportunity coming and people were preparing for it from November to December last year. Eyeing 5 to 10x utility driven growth because of the market, because of all this that has happened. We're seeing a market impact of 5 to 10x. This is from experts, right? But I believe it too, and I have put that in here. This dual regulation cements Ripple, now watch this, as a compliant bridge between TradFi and crypto, enhancing trust amid global alignment on ISO 222. I also think, this is me telling you this, I also think of the company as a new central bank for cryptocurrencies, plus maybe a future Federal Reserve when TradFi merges with DeFi. We shall see. We shall see. So the Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse hailed it as a win against anti-competitive lobbies, prioritizing innovation and consumer protection. While this is conditional approval, final approval is pending. Overall, it is a game changer for compliant, decentralized finance. Friends, I'm telling you, this is a reality. We are seeing something massive happening. It is all happening right before our eyes. All those things we've been talking about, all those things we've been saying, hey, Pastor David Ojua, God bless you. Thank you for joining my live. All those things we've been talking about and saying is going to happen. We're seeing it right before our very eyes. XRP, Ripple becoming a national trust bank. So what does that mean? They will custody RLUSD, on behalf of banks looking to enter, on behalf of non-banking financial institutions looking to enter into DeFi. Because when you say DeFi, you say decentralized finance. It means outside of the banking, the regulated banking industry, right? Hello, preacher. Yes, all is well. I was in touch with the gentleman yesterday, but he has not returned. We spoke, but he didn't return my call. I was waiting for him, and I said, well, he should call me when he's ready today. All right. So, well, yes, it's good to have Pastor David Ojua on. Yes. Let us know if there's anything we need to learn while you're on here. Gerald Bogwe, God bless you. Shalom in Jesus' name. So that's important, okay? So as we enter the new year, going a live off of my Patreon so that you get a gift from me with respect to DeFi and encourage you guys to kind of dip your feet in it. If you're, you can start with $100, just try it and see. Very, very important. I just showing you how Metal X lending works. Download a web auth just to be prepared, and from there we can, we'll take a journey. We can even do it live on there, and then you guys can get set up and we can move with that. But it's important to have the wallet before that. But that's just one opportunity there. Also get the DAG. There's a lot of opportunity, but with XRP going on Solana, that's another thing I wanted to talk about today before I go. What is happening with XRP and Solana? Why is XRP on Solana? Why is XRP on Solana? The way I look at it, is this, okay? XRP is on Solana. It says, I think it's strange that Ripple becomes a bank on the anniversary of when Satoshi disappeared. I don't know. Okay, that's a good one. I didn't think of that. All right. Okay. So XRP's bold leap to Solana, and why this is very key and why this is important. Okay. So if the way I look at it, let me break it in simple terms. When I'm observing, I'm looking at, so Ripple was started with XRP in 2011, and then 2012, and then Solana comes along even though the patent for XRP was way back in 1988, but Ripple came out in 2012, and then Solana as a blockchain in 2017. Okay, the way I look at it, you see old money. How do I put it this way? See, in society, there's always old money, right? The old money would always be chased by new money, or the old money looks for new money in order to accelerate gains for itself. If you go to any city, any country, you drive around, you would see that there are sections of the city you can point to and say that's old money. It's, there's a part in this city where anytime I drive through, I see buildings that look like mini castles. And it takes me back to the time when the British had control of part of, a section of Canada, and the French had Quebec. And I think of it, I said, wow, look at these buildings have been here since the 1800s. And you can see that the street was where the wealthy were. And there are still families today, and I can mention some of their names, that are famous, and they are in their fourth generation. And the wealth is still there, but it's old money. And the old money has to find relevance in new money. Families that have held. So that's the kind of way I look at it. So just to kind of simplify it, Solana is like the new money, while Ripple is like the old money. Why? Because Ripple has gotten established relationships, 1,700 non-disclosure agreements with banks and non-banking financial institutions for the last decade. They built trust. They built equity. They built relationships with governmental organizations, institutions, and jurisdictional institutions. They built all kinds of relationships across the board. They've invested in research. They've done everything. Like I said, watch them and you see the disclosures, non-disclosures disclosing themselves by just watching what they do. Every time they buy something, the non-disclosure unravels. Every time they move into some investment, the non-disclosure, and unravels. So here we are watching Ripple become a national trust bank. And I've shared with you the implications. And as they're doing that, Solana is announcing with glee. Solana made the announcement on their X that, on their X account, 589. Should we? And people were like, what's going on? What's going on? So all those people who have fight this war between Solana and XRP, Ripple, and Chainlink, and you see, it's nonsense, because this industry is so massive. You are looking at a minimum of 1 quadrillion in value being moved across blockchains in the next little while. And that's just Swift. We're not talking about all the other ones. Swift has 48%, which means, right, that there is at least $3 quadrillion moving, whether it's in commodities, in oil, in products, produce, name it, work, labor, construction materials, China, across the world, Malaysia, Indonesia, the Asian tigers, Japan with Toyota, and all of, that's why Japan has what they have with XRP. They have SBI has like $10 billion worth of XRP. They're not joking. They're not playing. So Solana, with its 65,000 transaction per second capability, the speed, yeah, of course, Solana has a lot of issues. Maybe that's why they're not ISO 222, because that blockchain crashes more often than not. But remember that Solana is going to be in the stockpile, right? The strategic national stockpile with crypto, which at one time, President Trump released that in his Truth Social post. And then later he added Bitcoin and Ethereum. That, I like them too. But there were 3, XRP, Solana, Cardano. Now there's going to be others. And I think all of the ISOs will be will be placed there, and some other cryptos that are very necessary and essential for the future, like Axela, which is more like the hub, helping all of these to connect. Actually, the connection between Solana and the XRP ledger is going to be, it's Axela that will be used for that, right? And then we look at other things. So there are deeper dives we can do. I have an article that I'll put on my coming up for my Patreon as well. You can read that and learn a thing or two about what's happening. It's just knowing the knowledge. The important thing is that you are holding the asset, right? It's just having that knowledge. You are holding the asset. So 2 walls are being breached. You are going to see the WXRP on Solana, and it is a win for both ecosystems. The speed of Solana is described as a blistering speed, when it moves with respect to assets. Okay, but here's one thing I want to make note of. Okay, and that is that XRP, first of all, has a $120 billion market cap, and then you look at Solana with its own market cap coming together, right? And $100 million locked on day one. $100 million. That signifies something serious. So it's a stage for several billions in total value locked between both. Now, there's something that I want to say in my own thinking as I look at it. Remember, I talked about old money, new money. The amount of money or value or liquidity behind the walls of Ripple, the walls of the NDA, non-disclosure agreements, 1,700 of them, the massive liquidity behind those walls. Yes?
I'm not sure what to do with the alarm. If I set it, you'll be...
No, don't set it.
Just leave it?
Yeah, just leave it.
It's open. Anyone can come in.
I'll go deal with it in a minute. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Sorry about that. So a gentleman was leaving the building and I had to attend to him. So that's the reality of what we're dealing with. What was I saying? So yes, old money, new money. So so with the way I look at it, so Solana, why I believe Solana will move first, right? I was talking to Crypto Night earlier, and we're looking at the variable bulls, those riddles, the riddle diagrams. If you look at one of the recent ones, you see the flag of XRP on one side, the US dollar right beneath it. You see Bitcoin, and in the middle with the tower, there are three towers, and the middle tower is kind of taller, and that tower is Solana. That's a message that Solana will move. If you remember a while back, I told you that I had a dream on May 17th, I believe it was, 2025. I was in a hotel in Nigeria, and the Lord showed me Solana at $3,800. I'm like, why am I seeing this? And as I began to study the ecosystem and prepare and all of that, I began to see how all of this is going to play out. And so, yeah, so for those of you who hold Solana, congratulations. But if you hold XRP, congratulations as well. The ROI on XRP will still be the highest known to humanity, I'm telling you. However, because you can, I mean, you're buying XRP, even if you bought it at, say, $1.97 or $2.25 or whatever, you know, even at, say, $1,000, there's no, I mean, think about the ROI, the return on investment. However, in the interim, it's wise to also, if you can afford it, make some investment into Solana. But it doesn't really matter in the long run if you have XRP, because what I'm saying is, with the funding coming into, with the liquidity coming into XRP and some of it moving onto the Solana blockchain, what do you think will rise quickly in value? Solana. Why? Because Solana has what? Only it has about 600 million tokens, right? Supply, maximum supply, while and then circulating supply is just slightly under 500 million. So that's why it's not even up to 1 billion. So early this year it ran up to $300, right? So for Solana to do a 10x from $300, that's its previous high, to a 25x, I think is easy. So from today, it'll be something like a 25x. But if you look at the previous, it'll be 300 multiplied by 10 is 3,000. So getting to 3,800 is easy. And again, because of this connection now, this is going to be, remember how I talk about certain coins that are stable coins at a high value. If they move slightly. It's like Bitcoin. Look at the graph of crypto. I mean, some meme coins will just go flat out and die and they're gone. But when you look at coins like Solana, the government will not tell you that they're going to create a stockpile of which Solana will be in it if they don't think that this coin will be around for the next 50 years. That's all I got to say. So anyway, those are the two things I want to talk about. Ripple is now a bank, and the fact that we have this Ripple XRP on Solana, I think is what being celebrated. And I feel that we you know, just hold what you have. We were just talking about it the other day. And Daniel, thank you. I don't know if you're on your flight. You know, you're flying and you're at the airport. Thank you for joining. But Daniel and I were talking earlier too, and he's done a little bit of research, and he's a great guy when it comes to research. I throw things to him, and it's like, you know, he just runs with it. We are seeing everything happen right before our eyes. Ripple National Trust Bank. And in my article, I said it might end up becoming the new Federal Reserve, maybe not today, maybe in 2035. I don't know, because you have DeFi having to collapse. Sorry, TradFi will collapse into DeFi. DeFi will now become your TradFi. DeFi will now become the finance world. We call it DeFi now. It's decentralized. But you see, the way Bitcoin started, they said it was decentralized money, but it became centralized because the very people, you know, the BlackRocks of this world, the Vanguards of this world, the JP Morgans and all of that, who said Bitcoin was nothing, are now the ones who are, yeah, they're now the ones investing in it. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? So, yeah, the riddles are crazy, how they're unfolding. Exactly. Bearable guy waiting for his Christmas Eve riddle. Do you follow that one day? Do you like look at it and kind of research it? Yeah. Kev 0481. Yeah, okay, so let's see. I know. What do you say to that? Oh my God. That's funny. Yeah. Any other thoughts from you? Any questions, people? And I mean, so let me say one thing also. You know, I went to the airport today to try to the fixed base operation not too far from where I live, and I observed that there were no flights. It's a training school too, and for trainee pilots, right? And it was because of the weather. So I was going to shoot a video there because it was a theme video. I wanted to explain how I believe that crypto is about to take flight, but it flies at different. I mean, it'll different aircraft. See, they don't take off at the same time. They take off one after the other, one after the other, and they don't all land at the same time. So it's very important for us to remember that in crypto, nothing is really linear. You're going to see some assets go, and I wanted to explain it using Bitcoin as a first jumbo jet that takes off, and then you've got the big passenger planes. Excuse me, the big passenger planes, like which would represent Ethereum, Solana, Binance Smart Chain, and Avax, right? They now take off as well. And then after that, and they're now in mid-flight. And then you get your mid-cap altcoins and narrative, that's the regional jets. And then they also take off. You have the AI coins and all of these other ones, DeFi 2.0 or restaking plays, all of them take off. And then finally you get to your phase 4 where low cap and meme coins now start running because the money trickles down. I often said it's like a mountain. You have a plateau where all of this liquidity is dropping. It's like rain, the rain of liquidity, and it gets to a level where it bubbles up. And of course, when water bubbles up, trickle, what happens? It'll overflow to the sides of the mountain. And when it overflows, it hits Ethereum. And then Ethereum will move and gain dominance, leading Solana, Binance, and all of these other coins. And now XRP will be able to go all the way to $9 to $27 because there's no more lawsuit. The parent company, and remember, it has 100 billion tokens, okay? So as its maximum supply with about 50 something billion, 60 billion in circulation. So that it'll take a bit longer for it to work. The only way XRP does 1,000 overnight, which it will, but in this, I don't know if it's right in 2026. Now, some people have the opinion that by June it'll be there. I don't have any reason to doubt them. Jake Claver has said that it will be 3 digits by the end of the year. I had always said I am expecting a $27 XRP before the end of the year. I don't know. That's the figure that I believe. It's not. I've looked at it, and I believe that if you have, even if it's $500 billion suddenly flowing all the way to $1 trillion on the XRP ledger, you would have a significant increase in the value of the token. Because we have to see DeFi take shape. We have to see it come of its own as TradFi flows some of its assets into it. And it's not going to happen at once. Brad Garlinghouse has said they want to take 14% of SWIFT by 2030. So if you divide this 2026 all the way to 2030, that's about 4 years. Or even from now, 5 years you can take, as a conservative measure. That's 14 point something percent per year. 14 divided by 5, 2 point something percent. So, and think about it. We're looking at 140 trillion as 14% of 1 quadrillion. That's a lot. Hey, MET, how you doing? Merry Christmas in advance to you as well. Thank you for joining. So, with all the news, if you hold any XRP, I was watching Brother Clem yesterday. Somebody sent his video to me. He's a guy in Nigeria. I like his videos. He was talking about how he had a vision and his wife had 100 XRP in her wallet and it turned to $18,000. That's $180 a piece. This is reality. It's coming. My first entrance into crypto, I did some research way back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, and I checked. And I remember going on the XRP calculator and checking everything. This thing is all presets. This is like knowing where the funds are coming from, where the wealth is coming from, and positioning yourself. Look, I want you to imagine yourself as somebody with an empty bucket. Standing by the empty means your bucket is your cryptos, okay? You have one bucket, okay? So, and all of the cryptos are inside that bucket, but they're waiting for something. You put that because without the water, in the bucket, nothing happens. You're waiting for liquidity to pump everything up. You hold that bucket, and as the tide comes in, as the waves hit the shore, you grab a full bucket and it will overflow. That's what we're about to experience in this coming dispensation. And there will be two classes of stable coins. The first class, I've seen that on documents from the World Bank, right? And what's it called? IMF and all that. The first set of stable coins are the ones that pair to the dollar and pair to national fiat currencies. The second type are those that are pushed to a high value by reason of utility because they must of necessity exist to carry out the conversions and the movement of value. They must be neutral in how they are presented. That's why XRP is a neutral bridge. Algorand is a neutral bridge. Cardano is a neutral bridge. They may have been made in the USA. XDC was created in Singapore with an office in the US, but it is neutral in the sense that it is not owned by JP Morgan. It is not owned by Chase Bank. It is not owned by Bank of America. It's not owned by SBI. All of these entities globally require a like a neutral asset that will carry out the, gold is a neutral asset. You can have as much gold, but it's not anybody's, people have more gold than the other, but gold is there, it's neutral. Okay, silver, copper, bronze, all of these precious metals. And when you look at the main cryptos, those are the ones that are going to act in that way. And so utility, this creates a better and a truer economy, even though eventually it will be used for evil. But this is just the story of the world and humanity. No matter what technological advancement we receive, the corruption of human hearts will end up corrupting it. But you, as a child of God, eternity is set in your hearts. There's a reason why you are being called, why you are seeing what others are not seeing. There's a reason why you have become enlightened in this. It is because God wants to raise a Joseph generation. God wants to raise a Daniel generation, a generation of people that have wisdom, a generation of people that have understanding, and they can use the resources that God puts into their hands to do great and mighty things in this age. I'm telling you, remember, the children of Israel did not leave Egypt empty-handed. God does not intend for you to leave Egypt empty-handed. And you're not literally leaving where you are to go somewhere else. But in the sense that you are living the darkness of poverty, you are living the darkness of limitation, and you are carrying resources that you can use to build a tabernacle for the Lord. What does the tabernacle mean? It means doing the will of God. He said that they may build me a place that I may dwell among them. So you can do things. You can help people. This is the time for you to start planning, to start saying, what will I do? How will I move? How will I change people's lives? It's not only about you. It's about what God will use you to do with the resources that He placed in your hand. Sunday, the 30th of November, the Lord spoke to me and said, my people do not even know or have an idea of what I'm about to bring. And it's not, some do know, but it was saying that majority of us are not aware. But you need to pay attention. God is going to unload great and mighty things. People say, are you sure? They don't believe it. Fear not, little flock, for it's your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. All right. I want to say thank you guys for joining me for this live. It's very interesting how they show you the future. The riddles are amazing. The train has left the station. Daniel, are you flying or just about to board? Yes, thank you, Jesus. Well, thank you so much, guys. One Didi, I hope you're doing okay. And I have been saying it that we're going to have a good Christmas. Don't worry about how things move. Just be thankful that you know crypto. Be thankful that you have these assets. But you want to start looking into zero knowledge proof protocols, like the person who came in earlier was saying and asking if I teach that on my zero knowledge proof protocols. Cities restored. Very, very important that we start looking at those things. Please go follow me on my Patreon, and God bless you as you do so in Jesus' name. Please avail yourself. Some of the videos I put on there, use it. If you have any questions, you can message me. If you become a member of the Patreon, you can message me in there as well. Aburo, no problem. Oh, right. Okay, sorry. Train. Yeah. My apologies. Yeah. Lambo train. Daniel, are you in first class? Johnny is something else. When Johnny is in the house, he's something else. Oh my God. Have a safe trip. Yes, have a safe trip. Yeah. Johnny says he's on a Lambo train. Johnny, where? I've never seen a Lambo train before. What does that look like? MET is laughing. Like, what does a Lambo train look like? Somebody help me here. Lambo train. Oh my Lord. Daniel, don't be Scrooge. You could have stretched your leg in first class. You're so funny. Staying humble before my Lambo. Oh my God. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. All right. God bless you all. Thank you so much for joining my live today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and God bless you. I'll see you in the next